What is up, everybody? It is Wick here, and I've got some Amazon sales I'm going to show you. These are things I've sold on Amazon using their FBA service, Fulfillment by Amazon, meaning I ship these items in a big lot, put maybe 20 to 40 items in one box, ship it in. I have my own labels on them, and then when they sell, Amazon ships them out. It's very cost effective for shipping. I can ship about a 50-pound box, usually for around $12 of inventory, and then when it ships, it doesn't really cost me anything after that. So there's some advantages to it. Of course, the fees are a bit higher because Amazon employees are picking and shipping your items, so you kind of pay for that. You can store your items in their fulfillment centers, which is good if you don't have a lot of space. However, Amazon is kind of difficult to get into, especially nowadays. It's not impossible, but if you haven't sold on eBay, I recommend learning to sell on eBay before you tackle Amazon. But still, I'm going to show you some of the items that I'm selling on Amazon, and these things I found at thrift stores, rummage sales, and doing retail arbitrage, buying clearance from retail stores and flipping it. The first item I got here is this Simpsons Scenic game. Now, I got this at Goodwill. I believe I paid somewhere around $5 to $6 for this. It was brand new sealed, and I ended up selling it for $38.99. Next, I sold this music CD, Insane Clown Posse, and I got this from a local buy where I got a bunch of Insane Clown Posse CDs. I sold a lot of the lower dollar ones on eBay and a lot, got about $80 or $90 for them. This one I decided to sell on Amazon because it was selling for more. $39.88 is what I sold this one for. These are used CDs. So anytime I can find CDs that I can sell on Amazon that are actually worth selling, it's nice because it's so easy. Here is the Stratego game. I got this at a Goodwill. I didn't pay much for it. This might have been even one I got at a garage sale for like $1, and I sold it for $44.95. Now, when I sell board games on Amazon, or anyone who sells board games on Amazon, their rules are it needs to be complete. That's including a manual. So I sell my board games on Amazon if they are complete in good condition. If they have too much wear, I don't sell them on Amazon, because when people are buying on Amazon, they expect this stuff to be in pretty good condition, even if you're selling it as in like acceptable condition or something like that. There's not an easy way for people to look at condition. You can add your own photos in the condition notes, but a lot of people don't even know to look there to find these photos, so they just buy it and expect it to be in good condition. So to try to avoid, bad feedback and stuff, I try to sell just good quality stuff on Amazon and leave the other stuff for eBay where I can explain it better. Here is a Kichler low bronze, just a LED path light I sold for $39.95. Now, I got these at a Lowe's on clearance. I think I paid around $7.50 for them, and I sold 4 or 5 of these, so sold through all of them and made some good money. Here is a Cranium Caribou game. Been talking about this recently. Sold one on eBay recently for $65. Because it had a little bit more wear than I was comfortable selling on Amazon. So this one was in great condition. I sold this one for $95. This is a board game Bolo Cranium Caribou, not to be confused with Cranium, Kaboo? Very similar in name, not worth near as much as Cranium Caribou. In fact, not even worth reselling, in my opinion, unless maybe it's brand new sealed. So yeah, Cranium Caribou, keep an eye out for it. This was a great flip. I found this at a Goodwill, and it was brand new in box. It was only $10. I didn't expect it to be worth this much. Scanned it on Amazon, and I'm like, whoa, these things are selling new for about $130, and that's what I sold it for, $130. So made some incredible profit on that. Does anyone remember me buying all of these Disney Infinity Thor figures at Salvation Army? It was one of those things where over the course of about a month, I'd randomly go in there and there was more of these on the shelf. They were brand new sealed. I probably got like 40 or 50 of these, and I paid anywhere between $1 to $3 a piece for them because, I was buying so many. Eventually they just kept raising the price. So I was like, well, if he's buying these, we'll raise it to 2. Well, he paid 2. We'll raise it to 3. Eventually I did leave like 20 of those. I'm just like, I don't want to buy anymore, just in case they don't sell great. And you know what? For what I paid for them, selling them on Amazon, they eventually all sold. You can see here, this one sold for $18. Now, in the end, my profit on these were probably like $6. But when you're selling, 40 plus of these, it really adds up. And it's really, I'm not shipping these out. Selling us on eBay, I would have to pay about $5 or more a piece to ship these out first class. And on Amazon, I could ship all 40 of these in, and it would only cost me probably around $6 or $7. So all of a sudden, selling on Amazon doing FBA, these things become profitable when, maybe on eBay they wouldn't. Here's another board game. I believe this was sealed, seen it 80s Deluxe Edition. Usually these board games, I don't pay more than $5 for them at thrift stores. I believe this one came from Goodwill, sold for $29.77. Here's a Glacier Bay faucet. These come from Home Depot. Glacier Bay is a Home Depot kind of in-house brand, and I don't know what I paid for this. I feel like $15. It was a long time ago because I buy this clearance and I let it sit usually for about a year, because everyone else is buying the clearance, the price drops, and then in about a year it goes back up, and I sell mine to make money. So it has been a while, but I believe I got these for like $15, maybe 20 even. It doesn't really matter because I sold them for $70. I think I sold like 3 or 4 of them I had, so definitely made some great profit on those. Here's something I got at Lowe's, these Moen docking brush nickel faucet heads, $88.99. I believe I paid right around $25 a piece for them, and I got a few of them, don't remember how many. But they all sold, and they all sold quick. Wanted to show you these because yes, I'm still selling sealed old media. I got these high 8 tapes that I got. Actually, somebody sent these to me that watches the channel, sent me a lot of stuff that they weren't selling that I could sell on Amazon for more money, I guess. Really appreciate that. And these were in there. $34.77 is what I sold them for. But high 8 tapes, especially the Sony ones, I remember I sold one year. I ended up getting a lot of those Sony high 8 tapes and sold hundreds of them, made a lot of money. VHS tapes, of course, a lot of other blank media does sell quite well on Amazon. Here's another thing I've talked about selling on Amazon, these electric handheld Yahtzee games. Here's a clear black one. Now, this is just loose. There's no packaging or anything like that. The instructions are actually built into the back of the game, so I just sell them loose. Bubble wrap them, slap my label on them, ship them in with my shipment. I got this for like a quarter, 50 cents, something like that, loose at a garage sale, and you can see I sold it for $39.59. You cannot sell that for $39.59 on eBay. I would probably sell for about $15. Here is another Bolo game. This is Snorta, and I sold this for $69.99. I think I paid like $3 for it at Goodwill, if I remember right. Got it fairly recently. It was in a video, and it sold quick on Amazon. Here's an Angry Birds game. This is Star Wars Angry Birds Tatooine. I found this at a Salvation Army. I think it was $2, and the box was in very bad condition. I almost didn't send it to Amazon, but I'm like, I might as well. I'll put it in acceptable. The pieces and everything was in great condition. I think it was even brand new. It was just the box was beat up. So I sold it for $34.99. A great flip. Here is another Angry Birds game. Angry Birds Star Wars Death Star game. Picked this up at a thrift store. Didn't pay much for it. $49.95 is what I sold it for. So if you watch my channel often, you know I buy a lot of Angry Birds games and sell them on Amazon because for whatever reason, some of them are selling great. I got these at Home Depot, these faucets, and I sold this one for $80. I got about 9 or 10 of these, and they sold really quick. I had $20 into them. They were on clearance. So in the end, I made some incredible profit on these. I've done very well selling clearance faucets on Amazon. So here's a random sale. I got this Batman Launch and Defend, kind of like an RC set, and this was $10 at Goodwill. You can see I sold it for $70, and usually Batman and that kind of toy is a restriction for me on Amazon. However, for whatever reason, this one wasn't. So I went ahead and shipped it in just to see what would happen. And it sold very quickly, made some great profit on it. And this was a big toy, so shipping it on eBay would have cost probably like 15 to 20 bucks. Sending in FBA, my total was probably right around 75 cents to ship this in with the other items. So last year I bought a lot of Christmas lights on clearance. These came from Lowe's, and I got about $7.50 into them. And you can see here I sold them for $60, and I had 15 or 20 boxes of these. So you can just kind of do the math in your head. It adds up to be a lot. You also got to figure, on Amazon, about 30 to 35% of that is going to go to fees, but still, when you're able to just crank these things out with FBA, it's definitely worth paying the fees. Here's some more Christmas lights. Again, I think I had maybe 10, 15 boxes of these, $52.99. I don't remember what I paid for these, probably around $7.50, maybe like $5. There's certain Christmas lights I look for every year that I know sell well on Amazon. The icicle lights, any box of those usually does well, whether or not they're GE or another brand. So I was in a Goodwill and there was a bag of these little Lego packets. I think it was $5 and there were 4 packets in there. This one had no sellers on Amazon, so I went ahead and put it on the listing for $50 and it sold. So that paid for the whole bag. Plus I sold some other Lego. Here is a ceiling fan remote. I got some of these at Home Depot and $24.88. I don't know what I paid for them at this point. I'm sorry, it's just hard to remember all this stuff without going back and looking at some, old receipts and Excel pages and all that. But typically I'm paying, 25% of what I sell something for. So I probably got like $5 to $6 into this. Now these were like $2 and something at Lowe's, if I remember right. Fairly recently, these American valves. This person bought 3 of them at $33.99 a piece. These things were loose, so what I had done was just wrap them in bubble wrap and slap my label on them. Sent them in and they sold quick. I actually think I still have in my storage a few more of these to send in, so looking forward to getting those in there and making some more money. Here's another one of those bagged Lego sets. This one only sold for $11, but you know what? Still, I'm making good profit on that, probably like $5 or $6 after fees. Definitely worth shipping in with the rest of the Lego stuff. Here's another Lego set. Now this one came from Salvation Army. I paid $2 for it and I sold it for $30 on Amazon. Only sell Legos if they're new and sealed, obviously good condition under new. However, there's some Lego that I sell as in like new condition. If the box has been opened and the bag's still sealed or the box has damage, I explain that and just mark it down a few dollars. Lego sells like crazy. It's like gold. So even if you have some problems with it, you can just mark it down a few dollars and it still sells. Here's another one that came out of that bag for $5. This is a Lord of the Rings Frodo's Cooking Corner. Kind of an interesting set. Sold it for $40, $39.25, so I'll take it. Here's a puzzle. Wanted to add at least one puzzle in there. I find puzzles at thrift stores all the time, and some of them sell really good on Amazon. You can get great money for them. Here's a White Mountain Puzzles American History puzzle, and I sold this one for $39.88 and probably got anywhere from $2 to $5 max into this. I remember getting this from a Goodwill. Selling the last of these Cobalt cutoff tools for $63.77. I only paid like $7 for these, and I got probably about 30 plus of these things couple years ago at Lowe's. Back in that year where I just got an insane amount of stuff. Just made like 6 figures alone just on some of these deals I got. It was absolute madness. These things are not selling as quick. Actually, I found them in a tote. I'm like, oh, I still got like 4 or 5 of these left. I think I had them listed on eBay as well at one point, and I removed them from eBay. They ended up in a tote. Anyway, I found them, sent them into Amazon, and yeah, they're selling great. Hey, look, it's one of these Black & Decker lids off jar openers. It's kind of a meme now that I find one of these every time I go thrifting, and it's in one of my thrifting videos. This one's the newer one, JW275, sells a bit better than the older ones. I probably got like $3 into this one. And, I pay anywhere between $3 to $10 for these, and I sold it for $69.95. It's used, no box. Again, it's just something I bubble wrap and label to the Amazon standards, ship it in, and cash in. Here's one of the plug and play games, the Miss Pac-Man. Sold this one for $43.50. Sold a few of these this year. Certain ones of these plug and play games, you can make money on Amazon more than you can on eBay. So I usually try to sell them on Amazon. Bible trivia game, sold for $34.88. I paid 50 cents for this at a church thrift store, and you can see I sold it for $35. So yeah, great profit. Here's another Angry Birds game, Angry Birds in Space. Actually sold 2 of these. I found 2, shipped them in. The boxes were kind of beat up. I was a little nervous sending them into Amazon, but I paid like $2 for them at Goodwill, and I sold them for $57.99. Here's another one of those Insane Clown Posse CDs. I sold this one for $49.99. So that turned out to be a good lot because I only paid like $30, maybe $40 for all the CDs. Here's just a bread and butter board game. Now, I don't remember if I got this at a thrift store for 50 cents or like Goodwill for a couple of dollars, or maybe I got it at a garage sale for $1. I know I didn't pay much for it. However, I sold it for $19.49. And because it's so cheap to ship these in, like 50 cents or something like that, because it's by weight when you're, shipping in your bulk items, then it makes it worth selling on Amazon. Profit on that was probably right around $10, maybe even $8. Now, I usually don't go any lower than that on board games because you do have to take the time to count the pieces, and I don't want to spend a lot of time counting pieces, to make it like $8. I should also mention that returns on Amazon are pretty crazy. People will return pretty much everything, but it's very rare for me to get a used board game returned. It's only happened maybe once or twice that I can remember, and I've sold hundreds of them. Don't know why that is. I got about 5 of these teddy bear little mini inflatables. Got them for like $1.50 or something like that last year on Christmas clearance. There's also a polar bear one that I sold as well. Again, it's one of those items that you can use the power of FBA when you're not paying that much. Ship them all in and make about $5 or $6 a piece on them. But there it is, everybody. I just wanted to update some of my Amazon sales over the last month, show you some of the more interesting things I'm selling, some of the stuff I've found. Of course, that's not all my Amazon sales, it's maybe half of them, but a lot of things I sell on Amazon you're selling multiples of, like the faucets. You find 10 of them, you ship all 10, and that's how I make my money. Of course, if I find stuff I can make money thrifting, I can sell on Amazon. I'm going to do that as well, like the board games, sell a lot of board games, Lego, anything like that. But I've been promising an Amazon sales video. There it is, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. Before you go, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, flipping_junk. And this has been Wick. Until next time.